Morning, everybody. It is another Theology Thursday, and as we near the end of this week, we're getting ready to head into Memorial Day weekend. It's a time for us to give thanks for those especially who have laid down their lives in service to their country to help provide us with the freedoms that we have today. The people who have protected us, and in many ways so that we can provide and care for one another in the ways that we're used to and in the ways that are important to us. So I figured I'd come over to the cemetery knowing that there are a number of headstones and markers of people who have served in the armed forces for our country. And so we want to honor them this weekend especially, but also when we think about sacrificial love and what that means. Sacrificial love is a matter of knowing that things aren't just about us, that there are other people in the world and that sometimes their needs and the needs of our community even outweigh the needs of the individual. We live in a culture that so greatly prizes our individuality and our freedoms in that way, but we have to remember that the people who died for those freedoms, they were fighting for the good of the community, for the good of the whole, which is still something that we should be striving to do. I wanted to share a passage with you this morning. It comes from the 5th chapter of Ephesians, and it's just a brief couple of verses. It's verses 1 and 2 of chapter 5. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and live in love as Christ loved us, and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. Be imitators of Christ. I like that image. We know that we'll fall short. We know that our sacrifices aren't what gives us or anyone else salvation. That comes only through Christ's sacrifice. But we continue to strive to be imitators of Christ as we seek to love one another, care about one another, look for those who are on the fringes, those who are marginalized, those who are lost and lonely, those who are the least in our societies. That's who Jesus looked after. And so if we're to be imitators of Christ, we are to practice sacrificial love, sacrificial giving. We are to offer our lives in service to God and to one another. So this weekend, I invite you, enjoy the weather, enjoy the beauty of God's creation. Hopefully it'll be a nice weekend. But also don't forget those who have sacrificed for us. Be they loved ones, be they folks who have served in the military, and don't forget the sacrificial love of Jesus Christ, the one who is that model, the one that we should always seek to imitate in our love for others. Blessings to you all. I hope you have a good weekend.